Welcome back to the channel, everybody. It is the love of your life here. Nah, just kidding. It is Drop Gems. We're here to drop another gem. Yes, it's on Sunshine 2007. Sunshine. Guys, if you haven't seen this movie, go see it and then come back to me. Spoilers ahead. You know how I fucking do. We're going to talk about my thoughts about this movie just off the head. Don't freestyle it. Give you my heartfelt thoughts when I saw it for the first time. Then we'll go over the plot. And that's it. Wrap this shit up. This rant. This awesome rant. It's another awesome rant. I love that I get to do a streak of these awesome fucking rants. So let's go. Another great movie here, guys. Great movie. Great actors. Great performances. You got Chris Evans, Mr. Captain America, in this fucking movie. You got Cillian Murphy. We all know him. 28 Days Later and many, many other great movies. Yeah, so just a great cast, guys. Hands down. Flat out. Fucking great acting. Believable. Space shit. Believable, these people. Great fucking acting. Great production. Great scenery. Great things to look at. Great things to listen to. Great things to know about and try to learn about. So this movie, you want to know. And boy, oh boy, does it fucking deliver. So basically, like I said, those are all the pros, and there's a great little villain in this, so to speak. They surprise you in this movie, and they surprise you by doing what you want them to do. It turns into a thriller. That's right. It was a sci-fi for about 45 minutes or whatever. What is this? An hour and 47 minutes, or worth every minute to watch. And the plot is great. The story's great. It's something that it's just believable, and it's good. It's good motivation for what's happening and for what happens and how it ends. So, yeah, you know, uh, there's something about the end of this movie I want to talk about. Maybe I don't know if I remember it by the time, but this is a different kind of ending for me. But so basically, it's a great movie. Like I said, great cast of characters and a great story. So yeah, let's wrap this shit up. That's it. Great things. Fuck it. Sunshine. Let's hear it goes. I'm gonna freestyle this. So yeah, here's the plot, guys. So basically, you start off in the future, of course, and there's a team of astronauts here. You meet them, and they meet the cast, and they're friendly faces. They're people you know. You like that shit. So you warm up to them already, man, and you're interested in the story because they're telling you that right in the beginning, Mr. Cillian Murphy here, he's a chemicalologist or some sort. He works the bombs, guys, because there's a fucking nuclear bomb on this aircraft here, the spacecraft. They got to take it into space and go to the sun because they got to relight the sun because the sun has died or is dying. It's dying. So they got to go refuel it. By nuking it. So they got two nukes on this fucker, and they go and you get to meet them, and it's great because we all seen sci-fis with people in space and the camaraderie and how they act, and you get to see that. You get to great directing just and writing to bring out these characters quickly and fastly, and we get to see their personalities, and they're just these personalities are so different, but they're on the same ship, so they have to coexist, and they do it well. They do coexist, and hats off. So they fucking show you these people, and you get to care about them, guys. You do get to care about them. You don't even get to care. You care about more about the characters than the plight of the earth not having any sun. That's how good this movie is. So, anyways, they get to this point where something happens, something's damaged on the ship, and they send the captain out to repair the damaged ship, and he can't make it back in time, guys. He's fucked. The sun, because the sun rotates, the ship rotates, at a certain time, and you got to get out of there before, because the sun is going to shine on it. It's sunshine, baby, and it fucking wrecks him. It burns him instantly, fries him like a fucking French fry. And before though he dies, he looks into the sun straight directly, and when you look into the sun, how it blinds you and shit like that. But for some reason, this guy's not blinded. He falls in love with it or something, and before this, though, one of the guys on the spaceship is just enamored with the sun, and he gets to see it through this. So cool. Like, it's just fucking cool. See the movie. I'm not even going to mention that. Skip over that. So stay on track. He dies, the captain. And so they're all like, fucking, like, what? They're like, he's dead? What the fuck? What are we going to do? This mission is everything, guys. And before they sent these guys out, see, now I'm remembering, the ship is called the Icarus 2 or some shit, because they sent an Icarus 1 out first, a team of astronauts before these people, to try to relight the sun with a nuke, and they never came back, guys, and they were never heard from again. So that's what's creepy. But what's even more creepy is after this captain dies or whatever, they hear a, I think, yeah, they hear a radio signal before he dies. But anyways, I'm fucking this up in order, but who cares? And they hear a radio signal or whatever, and they got to decide to go for the Icarus One because the signal. It turns out that this fucking signal is coming from the Icarus One. It's been coming for probably years and years. It's in space. It's lost in space. Whatever. They got it. They found it on their way to the sun. They found the Icarus One, and they hear it beeping, and they go. They just the engineer here, or whatever you want to call him, Cillian Murphy here, the nuke specialist, is fighting. Not fighting, but it's up to him. One of the guys says, "Listen, it's up to you, man, to decide if we go to the Icarus One." Because this is far out our mission, and it could cost us the mission. It costs everyone on Earth. It's a big decision, guys. And Murphy here, Mr. Murphy, he chooses to go for the Icarus One because it does. There's a possibility that it could have the nuke on it, right? See, now that I'm thinking about it, but see, is it worth it really, guys, to go for that nuke when you already have one? And he's like, okay, well, two chances are better than one, obviously, but you were going to do this anyways with one nuke, so your chances were your chances, and you were okay with that. But you're telling me you're scared or some shit, so you have to go get this other nuke. You know what I'm saying, guys? We're breaking this down, so fuck that. I'm being honest. I'm doing this awesome rant, and when we awesomely rant, we awesomely rant. So we tell the truth. Fuck that. So, anyways, it's kind of like whatever. Because they got to give an excuse for these people to go to the Icarus One. And I don't mind it at all because I like the detour. I like the detour. For some reason, I like it. I don't know if you agree. So they go to the Icarus One. They decide to. Three of these guys get off the ship. They go. One of these guys is a straight coward, man, and it's cool. I like that character. He's in between. You care about him, but it's hard to because he's so cowardly in a way. But three of these guys go onto the Icarus One, and they dock on it, and they find out that basically the crew has been fried by the sun through this, like I told you, where they look through the sun, they stare at it through this visual thing, through this glass or something that shields you, just tans you or whatever. And yeah, they were killed years and years ago, man. They were killed. They died. I don't know if they were killed. They just died. They killed themselves, it looks like. They can't tell. I'm not a fucking whatever pathologist or whatever at this time, but they don't have time for all that. They just see them dust. They're dust. They're stardust, the guy says, which I love. He's stardust. And so anyways, they get the fuck out of there. They want out of there, but they can't escape. They can't really get out, all of them, because only two of them get out, because one's got to stay behind to close the thing or some shit like that. Space shit, right? So fucking A. One of them volunteers, man, and that's cool. And he's like, yo, you guys go. And the cowardly dude's there too, and he's like, hell yeah, because he's like, hell yeah, he's really literally pissing his pants when they, this whole situation. So, anyways, it's Murphy and this dude, I think, I don't know. Yeah, it's Murphy and this dude. They're like, one dude's like, go ahead, Murphy, and the dude is pissing his pants, get out of here. So the guy stays behind. He turns to stardust, basically. Yeah, because he goes back into the room where the previous crew died, where they were turned to stardust, because he loves looking at the sun. There's something about staring at the sun in space that just grips these fuckers, and it gripped him, and he dies. He takes himself out that way. It's great, man. It gets you in your feelings a little bit. There's something about it. So anyways, it's getting into the nitty gritty here, guys. It's narrowing fucking down here. It's winding down. What could they possibly do? Where could they go with the rest of the story? And what happens is the cowardly dude and Murphy here shoot out of the hatch to get back to their ship, the Icarus II. But the cowardly boy slides off to the side. He bumps something, whatever. Something happens. Some friction happens, and he's hit off, and Murphy can't save him. So cowardly boy here is done. He turns to, I don't know, he freezes or whatever, pressurizes, and he's fucking dead. So that he's gone. We're narrowing down even more here. And Murphy's back with the chicks here, a couple chicks. And I think it's Rose Byron's in this as well. Yep. Byron, she's in this, and you recognize her. One of her first movies, man, or something like that, because she is so young in this, and it's crazy. She does a great job. And she's alive with one chick and Mr. Murphy here and Mr. Captain America. So Captain America, he's strong in this movie. I love his character. He's cocky and arrogant, but he's caring. It's good shit for him. So, I skipped over a lot of stuff, guys. So I want you to see this movie because there's a lot of other touching parts I didn't go over and a lot of critical parts, I guess you could say. I mean, I'm just covering the basics here, what I think, whatever is important. So, or good or bad, critiquing it my way. So, telling it you my way. So, Sunshine, right? So, they go back to the Icarus 2, of course, and Murphy's there with the crew, and they're deciding what to do because they're running out of oxygen or whatever to have you. They gotta get to. They're running out of oxygen. They only have 4 people. This gets crazy, guys. They only get 4 people or some shit. So they're down who to take out or some shit. There's another crew member that I didn't mention or whatever. This guy, and he fucked up earlier because he fucked up, and the captain died because of his fuck up. Okay, guys, and he blamed himself, and he takes himself out in a really, really emotional way. Honestly, you just find him dead. They find him dead. He committed suicide, and he's dead. And yeah, he's gone. And they yeah, so they regroup and they say, okay, we don't have to worry about the oxygen anymore. We just got to worry about getting this nuke to the sun now. So that they're down to like 4 people, I think, and they get down to the nitty gritty here. And what happens is this woman, one of the crew members, is doing something in a compartment bay or whatever, a different area of the ship, and someone kills her. Someone kills her, guys, stabs her, and fucking stabs her, man, out of nowhere. And this person is one of the only surviving crew member from the Icarus 1. He got onto the Icarus 2 when they docked to the Icarus 1. This other surviving crew member was able to jump on or get on to the Icarus 2 when they were doing their little fuckery, looking around and seeing the bodies and shit. He's a psychomaniac, guys. He was turned crazy by his space trip here, and basically turned into a, you know what I mean? Like he was turned insane by this. He was isolated in space, guys, for probably years and years. He went nuts, basically, and killed the crew. He killed the crew. He's the reason they turned to Stardust. It's because of this fucking guy. He's got a godlike complex, guys. He's like godlike. I call this guy the godlike fucking villain dude. He's like godlike, and he talks like it too, man. He's got this speech, so he kills the chick, and then he confronts Murphy, here, Cillian Murphy, in a room, and he confronts him, and he's talking to him, explaining the reasons why he did what he did, and so it's the strangest kind of like thing, bad guy, so to speak. It's strange. It's very scary in a way, but it's hard to describe, guys. So gotta check this fucking movie, and they do it so well. They don't really show this guy, but he's burnt because he's been looking at the sun in that room for the whole fucking time or something. He's been obsessed like everyone else with the sun and space. There's something about it, but it does it for the worse in some people, that's for sure. Especially this fucking guy. So he confronts Murphy, tries to kill Murphy, slices Murphy, hurts Murphy. Murphy's out of there. He ducks and dodges. He hits for a jumpsuit or an astronaut suit to get out of the spacewalk and get to another part of the ship so he can get help or get to Mr. America here and tell Mr. America what's happening. Mr. America, though, in the meantime, has got to do something because the ship is having a problem. So he's got to go to this coolant area and dive into it. It's fucking crazy, man. It makes you feel his pain, his fucking pain. Okay, so that's good scene with him, and he ends up dying doing that. So he dies trying to save the ship, and he doesn't succeed though. His leg gets stuck or some shit. It's crazy. After all that, he doesn't succeed. But yeah. So Captain America's down. The one chick's down. You're down to now Mr. Rose Byron and Mr. Cillian Murphy versus the godlike guy, and he's coming through, and he's stalking him and chasing him. He stalks him and chases him all the way to the nuclear compartment here where it's held, the nuke, and it's so cool, the visual, great production design. Like I said, guys, it will keep you watching. This movie surprises you in space. That's so much you can see. It's with so little space, come on, and in so little, it makes it. Anyways, so they're down there fighting the godlike dude. He's chasing them, and Murphy goes to activate the nuke. He's like, fuck that. They're close to the sun by this time, guys. They're right on top of it. They can do it. They can set the nuke off. They can save the world, and this all could be over, if godlike guy don't stop him. But godlike guy, he's just not. He's too. There's something wrong. Obviously, there's something wrong with him, but he's just not. He's not too. Mr. Murphy's too smart for him. Mr. Murphy, it hasn't been in space for years and years and been burnt by the sun, so he's straight. He doesn't have any brain fry. He can outwit this dude, outsmart him, outmaneuver him, get to the bomb, activate it. Now, when he activates the bomb, this is what I wanted to talk about, okay? Murphy, the camera slows down. This is the end of the movie, and the camera slows down. Let's go slow mo, and the fire from the nuke is coming towards because the explosion is triggered, and this fire from the explosion is coming towards Mr. Murphy. And as it does, it slows down everything, and everything slows down, and you can see him. I think he says some things or something like that, but you could see him looking at it like everyone else in this movie, as I explained, get lost in the sun and space, and he's looking at this explosion, and it it's a beautiful thing for him though. See, everybody else it was a bad thing or some shit, but it was like a good thing for him or something. I had a thought about this when I saw it. It was like that he lived. That was it. That he lived. That actually, what's happening is that he lived through this. Like I don't know, something like that. Like what happened to him with the explosion. Like he was able to live and see the work, the hands of his work, afterwards, that this explosion went through and the sun made it, and everybody will live. I thought that was like what was holding that moment. Like that's why that moment was held, so that he could, feel and see, and it stops right there. It stops, and I feel like that moment stopped so that he could know that after this explosion, what happened, that it worked and everything's okay. You know what I mean? In a way, I don't know. I'm fucking stupid. So, anyways, the movie, he dies though, guys. He's in a nuke. He gets fucking blown up. He sacrifices himself for the better of humanity. He finishes the job. He finishes the goal. The sun is exploded and it ignites the sun, and everyone on Earth is saved and okay. Hence, sunshine. Thank you guys for listening. Peace.